They say Lagos never sleeps. But sometimes, when a city stays awake too long, it starts to remember. On her first night in the new apartment, Zino heard a child crying from the ceiling above her bed. Except, she lived on the top floor. And the blueprint said, there is no apartment 7B. Zino IBE was 30, freshly promoted, and finally able to afford her own place. No more sharing bunk beds with cousins or dealing with the chaos of compound houses. She wanted peace, space, solitude. When her agent showed her Obelisk Heights, a pristine tower on Victoria Island, it felt like a blessing. The rent was oddly low, but the view of the Atlantic was unbeatable. She signed immediately. The concierge, an elderly man named Musa, barely made eye contact when handing her the keys to Unit 6B. "You're lucky," he muttered. Zino smiled. "Finally. My own place." Musa only nodded. "Keep your ears closed at night. Don't answer sounds from above." Zino laughed, thinking it was some old superstition. Above. But this is the top floor. He looked up. Not always. 3 days in, Zino began to notice odd things. The elevator paused on the 7th floor, but the doors never opened. In the stairwell, there was a landing between 6 and PH, but no door. Her hallway's lights flickered every night at exactly 1:13 a.m. And always the sound. Footsteps above her. Slow. Measured. Dragging. And then the weeping. At first, she thought it was her imagination, maybe a trick of wind through the vents. But on the 5th night, she recorded it on her phone. When she played it back, the weeping spoke. A child's voice whispering, "Come upstairs. Please." Zino, a trained architect, couldn't let it go. She bribed the junior staff at the building office and obtained the full construction plan. When she unrolled it across her dining table, her breath caught. There was a floor 7B. Built. Wired. Furnished. But struck off with thick red ink and marked, "Void, airy soil, never occupied." And below that, scribbled in Yoruba, "Ojuti Aye, this land watches." She looked closer. The original name of the land before Obelisk Heights was built. Ajike Compound. Ajike. She remembered the name from university. The site of a 1974 tragedy. An entire family went missing during a land dispute with the military. No bodies were found, only blood-soaked clothes. The land was cursed and declared unfit for residential development. But someone built on it anyway. That night, the elevator panel changed. The button for PH penthouse flickered and was replaced briefly with 7B. Zino pressed it. The elevator didn't move. But the lights inside went dark, then red. In the reflection of the metal doors, she saw a girl standing behind her. She turned. No one. But the scent of burned fabric and old rain filled the air. Zino went from door to door the next morning. Most neighbors refused to talk. But one, an older woman named Auntie Uduak in 5A, opened up. "There was a girl once," she said. "Tenant in 6B like you. Ibonobo. Quiet. Always complaining about sounds upstairs." Then she vanished. Zino froze. Vanished. Her flat was found open. The kettle boiling. Lights on. No one inside. They never found her. Did she ever say what she heard? The woman's face darkened. She said the child wanted a mother. That night, Zino lay in bed, wide awake, when something dripped on her forehead. She touched it. Red. Her heart pounding, she climbed onto a stool and pushed at the ceiling tire. It came loose, revealing a crawl space. Within the dark gap, 2 glinting eyes stared back. And a voice said, "You're better than the last one. You stayed longer." She screamed. fell back. But the eyes were gone. Determined to end it, Zino took the stairs, floor by floor, until she reached the blank landing between 6 and PH. She pressed her palm to the concrete wall, and it opened. A rusted door swung inward with a hiss of damp air. Beyond it, apartment 7B. Dusty, flickering with candlelight. Photographs nailed to the walls, dozens of girls, each with red crosses drawn over their eyes. All of them different. All of them holding a marble. On a dusty couch sat the crying child. Thin, hair matted with blood. She looked up. "Will you name me, Mama?" Zino whispered, "Who are you?" The girl wept harder. "They built over my grave. They buried me without naming me. So I stayed behind." Zino looked down. She was now standing in the center of a ritual circle, bones and feathers scattered around her feet. Her phone screen cracked, flashing midnight. From the shadows came others. Children. Silent. Watching. Forgotten. "If you name me," the girl said, "you must stay in my place. The ritual must end." Zino's mouth moved on its own. "Your name is..." But then she bit her tongue. "No." She turned and ran. The apartment stretched, warped, tried to trap her. A hand grabbed her ankle, but she kicked, screamed, and crawled out the door. Zino woke up in her bed. Sweating. Shaking. Alive. Sunlight poured into the room. Her phone buzzed, 8:12 a.m. Had it all been a dream? She rushed to the hallway. The elevator panel showed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, PH. No 7B. Relief. Maybe she'd imagined everything. Overworked. Exhausted. She packed her things. Booked a hotel. Called an Uber. But as she shut her door, she noticed something. On the inside of the door, scratched faintly, with a child's fingernail, "Thank you, Mama Zino. Your name will remain here." In the Uber, Zino sat in silence. Zino sank into the back seat of the Uber, gripping her small overnight bag like a lifeline. The driver, a young man in a faded cap, glanced at her through the rearview mirror. "Obelisk Heights, right?" he asked, smiling faintly. She frowned. "No. I'm living there. Take me to Oriental Hotel." He paused. "Oh. My mistake. Just. Feels like I pick up people from there a lot. Same flat. Same story." Her fingers tightened. "Same story." He shrugged. "They all look tired. Like you. Like they ran in their sleep." Zino didn't answer. She looked out the window. Lagos passed by, only it felt slower, dimmer. The city looked like it was underwater. Blurred. Like a painting melting in the rain. A light drizzle began to fall, though no clouds hung in the sky. She opened her phone. No signal. No notifications. No date. The lock screen blinked. Time, 1:13 a.m. Again. "But it's morning," she whispered. The driver turned on the radio. Static. Then a child's voice sang through it. "Lara's gone, but Zino stayed. Now her name begins to fade." Zino's blood ran cold. "Stop the car," she said. The driver didn't move. His eyes, in the mirror, were black. She reached for the door handle. Locked. The windows fogged instantly, and a handprint pressed against the glass from inside the car. But she was alone in the back seat. Then, slowly, the rearview mirror shifted on its own, angling down, not at her, but at something above her. She looked up. The roof interior had disappeared. Above her head, a ceiling. Not of the car. Of apartment 7B. It was dripping again. The car passed under a bridge. But this bridge wasn't normal, it was made of wood, bound with red cloth, like a ritual altar. The city disappeared behind them. Outside, the streets turned black. The people on the sidewalk stood still, faces turned to the sky. Every one of them, faceless. Zino gasped. The driver finally spoke. "We are almost home." "I told you, I'm going to Oriental Hotel," she snapped. He turned. His voice came out layered, a chorus of children, not one man. "Home is where your name is buried." The car stopped. She looked out. They were back in front of Obelisk Heights, but it was old. Crumbling. Overgrown with vines. Windows shattered. As if abandoned for decades. "No, no, no." The driver opened her door. "You forgot something upstairs." Her legs moved on their own. She stepped out. She couldn't fight it. The elevator was open, waiting. Inside, the 7B button paused red. She was about to press it, Zino screamed. And sat up. Back in her bunk bed in Ojulegba. Her little sister's poster still on the wall. Her laptop open on a half-written architectural design. A dream. Just a dream. She exhaled. Until something rolled off the edge of her mattress. She reached down. A marble. Warm. Still wet. And from under the bed, a child's voice whispered, "You came back, Mama."